What's up, y'all? It's your boy Niner Faithful. You know, it was a bad day when your boy's got a blunt in his hand to start the show. But we're gonna go ahead and get into that bullshit that was last night. I already warned everybody on Facebook. I'm a little calmer than I was this morning, but your boy's still a little irritated. We're gonna go ahead and get into that embarrassment that was last night on Monday Night Football. Before we get started with that, of course, we got to remind everybody, help out Niner Faithful Radio. Link is in the description of this video or podcast. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Catch Jason and I. Friday, we will be going live at 6 p.m. I don't believe it's the variety show this week, so it'll just be our normal game preview / week wrap up. Subscribe to the show. Go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr and Twitter at NinerFaithfulR. Make sure you catch me doing the pregame, Jason doing halftime, and Jamie doing postgame this Sunday. And of course, make sure you stay Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the show to get your special 20% off coupon code from For the Faithful by the Faithful Season 3 apparel. Ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, let's get the show cracking.
Weiss has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
What's cracking, Jason? How you doing, bro?
What's good, everybody? Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, we appreciate it. I know that I could get a little emo in my introductions or anything like that, but yeah, we definitely appreciate everybody tuning in. Yeah, I'm not even looking at the screen right now. I'm still sharing shit on Facebook. Jason, how you feeling, bro?
Not as bad as you, I believe. Miss Teresa, how's it going, girl?
Yeah, I was okay. So there is a little bit of context that needs to be stated. My mother-in-law is a Vikings fan, so
true.
You know,
I forgot about that part.
Yeah, this was a little look. I tend not to try to use my show to talk shit or anything like that, but you know, I ain't seen the bitch watch one. Well, hey, it's my show. I could do it. But I ain't seen the bitch watch one Viking game this fucking year. Okay. And then mysteriously we're playing the Niners, and oh God, she's got to be the loudest ever. Fucking like, get the fuck out of here, cuz she was doing it because she's pissed. I got caught cheating on my girl. Anyway, she's like, oh, I want the Niners to lose so he gets mad. Bro, I thought we were gonna whoop the shit up. Anyway, so I think we need to. There are several issues that I think we need to go in individually. Obviously, I know that Brock is a big talking point, you know, on social media the last 24 hours. And I had absolutely zero. Like, I had no way with the way Brock played last night, even with the 2 picks. Like, the first one, fine. You know, it was a bad throw. What's up, David McNiner? Go ahead, bro. We got to play a sound.
Yep, I'm looking for it.
Sorry ass man. So long.
Got to do it for you, bro. Always and forever. Like, what is that? Luther Vandross, I believe. I had absolutely no problem with the way Brock played. I thought he played well. I thought he responded. Well, we're definitely going to get to that, David. I thought he absolutely responded in pretty much every way that you would want a quarterback to respond after his worst game in the NFL.
Besides throwing 2 more picks.
Well, like I didn't preference it. Like I said before we hit go live, before the final 2 drives. The final 2 drives, you could break down some things. And even that last pick, I have a problem with it, but I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it in the sense of what? There was 30-something seconds left, I believe. Around 30 seconds. I mean, what do you really want him to do? At that point, you got 30 something seconds left, and I like find Ray McLeod. I mean,
Bebop,
whatever. What's up, Bebop? Good to see you, baby. I just tried really trying to make a play. There's 30-something seconds left of the game. What the hell is he supposed to do? Wait till the next play, especially with how they had been pressuring him those final 2 drives. Like Minnesota, clearly those final 2 drives were pinning their ears back and did not respect the run.
No, but we hadn't been able to do much in general with it.
68 yards total rushing. It is very clear what teams are doing. Teams are selling their soul to stop the run. They will literally let Brock throw for 5,000 fucking yards before they let CMC not get hit before 2 yards after the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's what clearly teams are doing. They're saying we're going to hit CMC every play. We're going to hit Brock every play. And we're going to sell our souls to stop the run. And I feel yesterday was weird because everybody's going to look at everybody who box scores says, 7 points. But when you watch the game, we were moving the ball all night. There was we punted one time?
I believe so.
Here, I'll go ahead and pull it up real quick.
The problem wasn't moving the ball because we did a decent job moving the ball. It's the fact that we had opportunities to put up points and we didn't.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Obviously, there was the fumble by CMC, which he immediately went to the sideline and threw on some gloves. So I'm glad he's like, look, obviously I've got an issue going on right now. Let me rectify that. Throw on some gloves. And then we had the extra, the missed field goal by both the field goal and the extra point by Moody.
No, the missed extra point was by then.
Yeah, never mind. Yep. So the missed field goal by Moody.
And that's something that we're going to get into separately. So as we break down this game, offensively, yeah, you know what? I was curious about that too. What was it? Yeah, that was very curious. And I will say this. I don't think Jalen Moore played bad. I mean, I'm sure if you pick out individual plays, I'm sure that you could find a play that he got beat or anything like that. But I don't think any struggles we had offensively were because of Jalen Moore.
Oddly enough, I thought he played better in the pass protection than he did in the running game. Like I thought he was going to be kind of switched. And so, like I said, I didn't think he did that bad. I mean, was it great? No. Was it an obvious drop off from what we see
from your backup?
Exactly. There's a huge when you've got an arguably top 5 player in the entire league at one position, you're going to see a drop off. What's up, John?
Okay, so Brian, we're gonna get to Jake Moody, but offensively, I had no problem. I agree with you, Jason. I mean, what are you gonna do? What's up? Good to see you, bro. Welcome everybody in the chat. To me, I heard some people saying CMC 2 out of the last 3 games fumbles. If you're going to have a man score, what is it? Is it 15 or 16? 16 now, right?
Yeah, 16. NFL record.
16.
Cool.
times in a row, I'll take 2 fumbles. Okay, I just like that. Like, I think more than CMC fumbled isn't what pissed me off. It's where the fumble was at. That literally, I won't even call that the turning point of the game, but that was definitely for the Niners to win this game. Looking back, that's where we would have done it. They turned the ball over, right? Which is something they could not have done if they wanted to beat us, right? They could have not lose the turnover battle and beat us yesterday. So they automatically start off, third play of the game, you throw a pick. So you're automatically, I shouldn't say fuck, but you're automatically going the opposite way of what their game day had to be. Their game plan had to be. Niners score, go up 7. I mean, we've seen this show five times this year. This is what was going to happen. And then the fumble. And what did I tell you before I did the pregame show, Jason? What did I tell you? It's going to be different walking out of that tunnel and you don't have Debo and you don't have Trent.
No, but we still should have won this game. And we had chances to win this game.
I'm not excuse because it was loud. But you know what? They were loud with Minnesota. Did you see Kirk Cousins having to cup his? So whether that was Minnesota fans saying, hey, fuck it, we're just going to be loud no matter what. Or, I mean.
No, I heard some Niners chants on the broadcast.
No, I was saying Greg Papa definitely said it was probably maybe not half, but it was 45% Niner.
Yeah, there was a ton of red in that crowd. So, I've heard that Minnesota is a kick-ass city to just go hang out in and do stuff in because there's a ton to do there. So it was a game I had considered going to, but depending on how weather was, plus going to the Thanksgiving game, I was like, yeah, let me save up money for all that. So
that
I really want to go to Minnesota.
To do both.
Yeah,
my timeline was full of people who went. I was actually invited to a tailgate out there, but I go to lie before situations happened that made probably going to a non-home game probably impossible for your boy this year. Before just a bunch of situations happened, Minnesota was one of the ones I was thinking about. Because Bubby's mom's a Vikings fan.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I was like, whatever, we'll just go and take her to a Vikings home game. B, check it off of NFL Stadium I want to see a game at. Also expected the Niners to win. And also, I wanted to go to that Prince Museum.
Yeah. There was a couple guys that we met down in when me and Matt came down there last year. They actually live in Iowa. But they traveled to that game over there because, Minnesota was only a hop, skip, and a jump from Iowa.
Yeah.
And so they've been talking to us like, hey, you guys, because, we had a good you didn't actually meet them, but we had hung out with them before and after everything that we did with you. And they're like, hey, you guys going to come down to Minnesota? We're going to this game. I'm like, nah, I don't think we're going that one, blah, blah, blah. So, like you said, there's a ton of people I know that went to that game.
Yeah. So, don't get it twisted, Jason. I have zero excuses for why we lost this game. Even when you were like, hey, bro, I told you they're better than that 2-4 record. I don't give a fuck if they're better than that 2-4 record. There's no way. Because this is what concerned me the most. Offensively is not why we lost that game. Okay? Mm-hmm. Is there an issue with is Jake Moody's missed field goal the reason we lost that game? No.
But just like the Browns, there's multiple things that stand out. And that's one of them.
Is our kicker an issue? Yes. We see it. 55-yarder right down the middle. I don't give a fuck. Like, cool, awesome, great field goal that he made. What's most concerning is if we can't get 40 yards out of you, like, awesome, you got the 55-yarder. How often are we really going to line up for a 55-yarder field goal? If we can't get 40 or you're shaky from 40, we might as well have Robbie at that point.
Yeah, we've kind of got the opposite Robbie. Anything under 40 and under? Nope. Everything above, we're good.
We're good. I mean, to me, and what's concerning is like there was no way that wasn't even a okay, it hooked at the end. There was absolutely, once that ball was hit, it was clear it was going to be wide. Without like the one in Vegas where it was like just shanked, one of the worst kick I've ever seen. That was one of the worst. It wasn't that bad kicks, but it was clearly going to miss. You know,
I knew it was missed as soon as it crossed the line. I mean, once it went over everybody's head, I'm like, it's gone.
As soon as I didn't see it start to hook towards, the center, I was oh, he missed that. I seen it and I was like, oh, as soon as I seen it keep going.
So if the only thing we can do now is like, do we need to get the ball right between the hash marks perfectly for every single kick? I mean, which we can do. You can do it. Just have your running back run one side or the other and just go down right in the middle. But I mean, at this point, that's one that, maybe that's something we need to think about. He needs to be right down the middle.
Because I can't. Like I said, I don't think Jake Moody is not the reason we lost the game. Shit, Jake Moody wasn't even the game we lost. Reason we lost the game last week.
Yeah,
which I liked, and this is what made yesterday so frustrating. I liked our response. I liked. Mama Debbie sent me Eric Armstead. I guess has a podcast or something. He does a video podcast. Yep. Yeah. So Mama Debbie sent me a segment from it. And actually, one of them is really cool. He breaks down his paycheck and taxes and stuff. They're actually really dope. But this one, he was breaking down film and he said, "Look, we take full responsibility for this. Jake Moody, we have full confidence in him. We expect him to be better." Everybody was you and I. What we said, Fred held church. We knew Fred held church. All the things were right, and then you come out and you give a performance like that defensively. Like moving on from the offense, I feel like offense is going to be fine. It's I'm fully expecting money middle Moody, but defensively, I text you, Jason. We were getting out coached. It seemed like every time we had a defensive call, they just seem to have the perfect call against that screen. Sure, missed tackles, which we'll get to here in a second. But missed tackles, which we'll get here in a second. But it was 15 yards before he even got touched.
I know everybody's jumping on the, Wilkes isn't the guy kind of thing, but I'm sorry. Some of those players, no, but I know there's a lot of people who are. I'm not necessarily off of that bandwagon, but I see a ton of people who've already jumped off that bandwagon. It's like, why? How are you getting on a coach who is not out there tackling? We probably missed 25 tackles total yesterday, in total. I'm gonna say this: this is a really good hitting team. This team sucks at tackling right now. And that's the problem. We can hit all day long. We suck at tackling because everybody just wants to throw a shoulder and then hope the guy goes down. Yeah. Well, guess what? Against better teams where they're not going to go down, this is what happens. So, yes, there is issues with Wilkes play calling and stuff like that, but most of that's got to go to the guys on the field. They're just not tackling.
No, I do not want to excuse. We're breaking this down in layers because I'm not going to excuse. Look, we all know how much I love Fred Warner. Okay? Like my love for Fred Warner isn't questioned. But I want to say it was second quarter. There was a run. It went for like 20 yards or something like that. And the reason it went for 20 yards is because Fred Warner missed.
Yeah.
Okay. So and I remember telling you that just something seemed different. I was like, Jason, I don't feel the same way I do about this defense. Yeah, the numbers are the same, but I don't feel the same way I do about this defense.
Yeah.
And what was frustrating, and big props, I won't even say
As a Miss Laura Cat.
I give the defense zero credit yesterday because everybody's gonna say they held them to a field goal. The only reason to miss to win this ball game, before Brock threw the second pick, was not because of our defense. It was because Minnesota missed a field goal. Minnesota makes that field goal. The best we could do is tie with a touchdown, and by the way, a 2-point conversion, which they know we're going to pass because we hadn't been able to run all game.
As far as Teresa's question, I don't think so.
But see, also, Teresa, everybody talks about the East Coast trip, and we're what? I think it's like 5-2 or something like that, and everything like that. But they don't talk about the first home game after those. We haven't won.
Yeah.
After those back-to-back East Coast games, the Niners haven't. We lost against Atlanta in 2019. I forget who it was in 2020. 2021, I want to say it was it the Chiefs? No, it was the Packers, wasn't it? 2021, we stayed on the East Coast for the first 2 weeks, right? Yeah, because we played Detroit and Philly.
I'll be honest, I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah. We played Detroit and Philly. The first 2 games. We lost to the Packers in 21. 22, I forget who it was in 22. I don't remember in 22. But we haven't won those games.
I mean, unless you're going to, London, I honestly don't think those games should affect you too much. You can easily adjust your start. If you know you're going to be playing an East Coast game on Sunday, you can easily start going to bed a couple hours earlier every day from Monday till Saturday, and you'll be fine. So I don't give too much credence to that. Yes, you can argue some of that, but it's not that hard to adjust your body. Sorry, I don't give that much. So unless you're going all the way across the pond.
2 things real quick. First, I've always felt it when I've gotten back from like the times I've gone to Atlanta or Alabama or whatever. I've always felt like the more jet lag, the whatever you want to call it, when I've been back to California, I've always found it hard to adjust to being 3 hours later or earlier now than I have for it being 3 hours later, just personally, myself. And number 2, I feel that wasn't valid because the game started at 5:15 on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So there's no early, there's no early body clock, excuse I feel that we have. With the extra day, how does this defense come out with a performance like that, Jason, and call itself a championship caliber defense, call itself the best defense in the league, when you have an extra
definitely
day?
Can't call itself that now.
I mean, are we a champion? Look, I don't want to overreact to one performance because let's be real, we could fucking get after fucking Joe Burrow. He could throw 3 picks and we could shut him out this week, and I'll look real stupid. But this defense is not better than the 2019 defense.
Not right now.
No.
There's literally no pass rush. I don't know what the hell we're doing up front. We have about $1 gazillion tied up in our front 4. And did we get anything out of them yesterday besides maybe a couple of pressures and Givens with the tackle behind the scrimmage? The biggest play came from a backup yesterday. We, for all the times everybody's talked to, even me, I've said that we were okay through the first couple of weeks when we were getting a ton of pressures, because eventually those pressures will turn into sacks. Guess what? I was wrong. Most of us are wrong. It's not anymore. It's the same thing that we've been doing on years past, to where we're just kicking field goals instead of getting touchdowns. Guess what? All these pressures are the same thing as field goals. They're not going to get – they look cool, and they're good for stats at some point, but they don't win you games. And all it takes it – oh, go ahead.
When yesterday – it was clear Kirk Cousins was a man possessed. I don't know who the fuck possessed him, but that wasn't Kirk Cousins. Because why I was so confident going into the game yesterday, and Miss Veronica, get to your comments, Miss Veronica. Um, the only time we looked like our defense this whole game was that goal line stand. That ultimately did what? Held them to a field goal.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, we're doing this segment now, and you ask me, and I want to get your opinion on this, Jason. To me, where the ball game turned was that touchdown they got against them.
Was which one again?
The last touchdown of the first half. Because you saw what was going Niners formula. Kyle's came out and said, this is how we feel we win ball games. We score right before halftime. We stop you, and then we lap you, and all of a sudden that 7-point, deficit turns into a 3-point lead, or a 4-point lead. And when Minnesota said, nope, yeah, I hate to, you don't want to think this at the time, but stepping back and looking at it with hindsight, yeah, that was pretty much it might have been all she wrote. I think that kind of showed, it might not have been our night. Jason, your turning point of the game?
I'm going to agree with you on that one. Just want to say to Dennis Ray Williams Jr., don't think I've ever seen you in here. Thank you for showing up, brother. I'm going to say the same thing, but from a different angle. To me, and I think you might have heard me say this over on the halftime show, that to me was the worst play of the game, simply because that right there showed that Ward didn't have situational awareness at that time. He makes that tackle. They're a good 20-ish or however many yards down the field.
Knocks the ball down.
But just let him catch it and make the tackle. They are not going to be able to run all the way down the field and set up and get a chance to spike a play in 7 seconds. Because I believe at the end of it, there was maybe there might have been 10. But even then, okay, so they're spiking the ball on the 30-ish yard line. I will take my chances with that, with them taking a longer field goal or taking a shot for the end zone, rather than what happened. Just tackling right there. So to me, that was the biggest issue with everything.
He did not have a good Charvarius Ward.
No, he did not play well yesterday. Besides that one, after that pick, done.
Which curious. Yeah, the chat is popping today. I'm curious to get to Dennis, by the way, thank you. Appreciate it. I don't remember seeing you in the chat. Welcome, bruh. This is what I'm hanging my hat on. This is not why oh Lord, the season's over and all that. Is this right here. We did it before. Remember, we were 3-5, but found our identity and climbed back. Mm-hmm. I think that if we had given this performance and Trent Williams and Debo were out there, I would have a lot more concerned. But you say, yes, I guess we have our answer. And maybe the debate of BA versus Brandon Ayuk ain't as simple as we thought. I pretty much everybody I know has been like, yeah, bro, you keep BA. Well, maybe it's not quite as simple. There's just things that Debo can do that other people can't. I don't want to hear how Ray could take a spot. Paging Ronnie Bell, which I already told you, we know why Ronnie Bell wasn't in the game yesterday. Kyle doesn't trust his hands.
Well, why wasn't Mason in for some I could not beat it enough. Why are we not running on that 3rd and 1? I want to say it was the beginning.
Where is TDP?
The hell with TDP right now, honestly. I'm not even worried about him because for some reason, so we had CMC was out there for every single play. The one play that there was another running back, there was 2 plays the entire game. There was a running back on the field, and both of them were Elijah. Why? Elijah doesn't. I know Elijah has got great speed and all that kind of stuff he has had, but right now he's doing absolutely nothing in this offense when we have Mason, who's been proven to be effective when he is. Yes, he kind of sucks and is a liability in the passing game. That's okay. Don't pass when he's in the damn game. Just give him the ball and run. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's that simple.
I don't.
How's it going, Randy? Thank you for showing up, brother.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I mean,
I didn't get my necklace on. I'm so flabbergasted today.
I don't know if that was a legit question, like who's TDP.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he's being a little bit. But yes.
I think I'm taking it that way that he's like, who's TDP? Like, I don't.
Who's Drake Jackson?
Who's Drake?
So I mean, it's the same.
Randy
it's the same question.
Gregory, a man that's literally been on the team for what, 10 days, Jason? A week.
Yeah, something like that.
Officially with the team in practice a week yesterday. Shows up and makes more of a splash play than a man going into second year. Where is this Drake Jackson that we heard all offseason? Chris Kosar.
Where was he at in week one?
Him out and said Drake's been here every day.
I see him in my window working out. Oh no, that was Kinlaw.
Yeah, that was it.
But either way, yeah, I mean, Drake Jackson again with this whole front defensive line, non-existent. He had those 2.5 sacks, and all of us were just like, "Oh my God, it's here! We've got the second coming of fucking pick a great defensive end," and we have not done a day. He has not done a damn thing. I think I've actually seen Colin Farrell, who we haven't seen a lot of, actually more active when it comes to disruptive
he played
plays.
Better.
Yeah, like I said, like at this point, I don't know what the hell. Well, I'm going to say this about the last time we lost 2 in a row, we went on a hell of a run.
I'm saying.
So, we have that.
That's what we're hanging our hat on. Like, yeah, like we're frustrated. A little bit of today is why I don't normally do the show 24 hours after the game. Because I've ranted, I've texted Jason, chat Bubby, I've done everything and all this ranting and raving and everything, and I'm more clear-headed. We've heard Kyle speak, on to Cleveland or on to Cincinnati. So much more of an attitude, but that's what I'm hanging my hat on, is that this is why Kyle got the extension. This is why Kyle's not going anywhere, is not offensive coordinator Kyle. I'm talking about head coach Kyle. That's what I'm hanging my head on, is that the man who's going to be here either up to or longer than even Bill Walsh. Like this contract spent, I think John Lynch was asked and he hinted around it that they're trying to avoid length of time when it comes to for some reason. They're trying not to let it be known how long it is. But people have been speaking about getting up there with Bill Walsh. And so that's 10 years. So that'll be 2026. I don't think he signed just a 1-year extension.
Doubt it.
So it might be a date TDB. I fucking don't know. But let's be real.
I think it was a 3.
I think he got it to 2028.
Yeah,
so
I think it was a 3.
What you would have last year would have been the last year. She got 26, 27, 28, 3-year extension. Yeah. So basically, essentially a new 5-year deal. I would believe that, a 3-year extension. So essentially 13 seasons, longest 9 or 10-year head coach. This is where Kyle, the head coach, needs to come into play, because this is things like this happen all the time in championship seasons. In Niner history, Roger Craig, when I interviewed him, he told me personally, I said, "What year was your favorite Niner year?" And he said the 88 season, and essentially said, because we had to fight and battle towards the end. And it wasn't a 13 and, and so if you and I both, you picked 10-7, I picked 13-4 for this team to go. We have to accept that they're going to be 4 or 7 losses. Ultimately, if you're right, I think losing to Minnesota is one of those the difference. If you say what's the difference between TJ's record and Jason's record, losing to Minnesota.
And I've always thought that the Minnesota game was going to be a toss-up. So
apparently, I did not know this. I did not see this in any of the notes or anything. Miss Veronica says hi, by the way. Okay. So we have not won there since 1992.
Yeah, I think I saw Brian put that up into somebody else's chat a couple of days ago, and I was like, "Damn, it has been a long. It's been so long. We played the last time we won. They had an outdoor stadium.
Yeah, like, fuck. Holy shit!
It's been a long time since we've won up in Minnesota, man. And so it's
look. You and I discussed it. It's a loud place. Like it's the dome. Let's be real. Any dome is going to be loud, and I mean, she's hungover and pissed. Oh man, we've all been there. So yeah, that Monday after the NFC Championship game last year, bro, was fucking rough. Woo, that shit sucked. Anyway, so I just expected the D line to make more of an impact. That's my biggest.
I think we all did.
So moving on into Ford, and especially with you not being here next week.
Nope.
What? Ditto. I looked at my girl and she goes, Did your boss give you the day off today or did you ask for it? I said, I asked for it.
I got so many days off coming up because of this month. I couldn't ask for today off. I really wanted to.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly next second, David, because I actually do want to answer your question because I think it's kind of obvious, but I'm rough today, thank God, but I didn't work today. Yeah, no, same here. I didn't want to go to work today. I don't really want to go to work tomorrow, especially since I got to be up at 5.
I started at 5. I don't want to hear your shit.
And nobody's gonna allow me to bitch at anything. And my motherfucker, you've been off since Saturday, nigga.
Yeah, exactly. I want to hear
anyway, nobody wants to hear my bitching. Poor TJ. Anyway, since you're not gonna be here next week, I wanted to ask you: do we need to make a trade, and for what?
Yes. Do we need another pass rusher at this point? I mean, we get another pass rusher who gets cut. You know what I mean? It's like the room is already. Well, I think you're gonna have to make a trade for someone. You know, I don't think Daniel Hunter. Now that we beat them, or the series that they beat us, I don't think because now they're in the thick of things to the playoffs.
Yeah,
he's not going to be available. So you're going back to Burns from the Panthers. There is supposedly the rumor that the Commanders are in a fire sale, which they've got 2 badass ends, and but they're going to be expensive. But I would pay for either one of them. I would prefer Sweat over Young, but I would take either one of them. You got to look at Tennessee isn't doing too great right now. They have a defensive
their safety.
Yep. Mick, could we get his ear back? Would you take his ear back if we made some sort of a trade for him? So I mean, there's that. I'm trying to think who else. I don't. It's like I haven't actually gone through it. I mean, obviously we need help on the line. Shit, do we trade for Glinch? Get Mike McGlinchey back? You know what I mean? It's just like I haven't looked to see who's available. I mean, you're probably looking at teams that like right now, obviously, like the Broncos are probably going to do a fire sale. They said that John Lynch, when he called about Randy Gregory, asked about Patrick Surtain, but he said no way. But I mean, how much are we willing to give up draft pick capital to get someone like him? Because I wouldn't mind putting him opposite Ward and slide Demo to the middle. I think that solidifies that.
I think that's how you create our best secondary.
Yeah, but again, we just had an issue with giving up 3 first-round draft picks and stuff like that for trade.
That's what I'm saying.
So what are you willing to give up? Because I guarantee you, How's it going, Thomas? It's gonna take at least one first to get him. And if they're, you know what I mean? So it's like, how far down you want to push that first? They're gonna want to start rebuilding probably next year. I don't see Russell Wilson or half that team together. I've seen some people put out there that we need a wide receiver that's just a burner. But at that point, what do we wait? Are we completely giving up on Danny Gray? You know what I mean?
Right. Especially when I think what they're gonna with that situation, they're gonna say what it's week 7, so it should be this week, if not this week, after the bye that he should be back. I'm curious. I haven't heard any updates on him. I haven't even heard anybody ask about him. So I think that they would say Danny Gray expected back after the bye or this week, at least start practicing this week. So they would say getting Danny Gray back would be trading for a burner. But yet again, okay, cool. You could want whatever you want, but who's available? And
I'm going to show this to Laura Cat real quick. This is the scythe that I will be wearing for Halloween.
Nice.
It was my part of my costume.
What? Because of what also has happened by not having first round picks, if we haven't gotten premier talent.
Yeah, we've gotten lucky with a few spots.
A few spots, but we haven't gotten premier, first round talent on the cheap. So any of our premier talent either got to be a luck shot in the draft, Talanoa, Hufanga, et cetera, or we've had to pay up the ass, i.e. Javon Hargrave. So that's why I don't, unless it's a splash, I don't. No. Please no. I don't.
I'll say this. If Brock completely falters, I'm talking about we're done. He gets benched for Sam Darnold, then I'm for it. But even then, you're like, ugh. So.
I think that, unless it's a splash, I want to keep that first round pick, bro, because we're going to need a right tackle. Who the fuck's going to trade us a right tackle that has a right tackle worthy enough of trading for?
Yeah.
It's Colton. I thought he played fine. I mean, everybody's going to point to the couple snaps, but Colton McKivitz isn't the one. If Brock completely falters, I mean, who? Okay, so I hate to sound like a breaker record, but I mean, who else is going to give me a better option? You really think they're about to do another trade to get up into the top of the draft to draft a quarterback?
No.
You really think they're going to do that ever?
You want to see a fan base revolt?
No. Fuck no. Okay, they're not going to do that. What the fuck quarterback is going to land to us at wherever we're at? Because if we're close enough that we could trade or even select a top tier quarterback in the draft, we've got bigger issues than fucking quarterback. Right? Can we agree to that, Jason? If this team's sticking in the top 5, we've got some serious issues.
I'm agreeing with Lawrence here. Like I said,
I do too.
We knew Brock was going to have stumbles in the road. Every quarterback does. No matter, even Tom Brady, Manning, everybody. So, I mean, everybody is kind of overreacting to Brock right now. Also, part of my costume was cigarettes, so I actually had to go out and find candy cigarettes. You know how hard these damn things are to find?
I was about to say, they still make those? I would have thought they would have made those illegal.
Yeah, so same here. I was actually surprised I could find them.
So I can't show y'all my costume. Jason won't be here next week on Halloween. So
yeah, just so everybody knows, next week I was married on Halloween, so it's obviously my anniversary. Me and the wife have some things planned that we're going to go out and do, all that kind of stuff for anniversary. So yeah, I'm not sure what TJ is going to do, but I won't be here.
I got something planned. Hey Brian, message me. You want to come on the show next Tuesday? Oh, that's your boy. But I got something planned. Don't check. Anyway, and then do you want to do the announcement the 7th?
Yeah.
Yeah, go
so
ahead.
On the 7th, during the bye week on that Tuesday, obviously, we're not going to be talking about much after the Bengals game because we don't have anything coming up. Those of you guys who know Josh Putton, he does an awesome job doing YouTube videos with his breakdowns and everything like that. He will be coming on the show. He is a fellow Seattle Niner faithful guy over here in the Pacific Northwest. So he will be joining us on that one. Because of his work schedule, he comes in, I'm actually waking him up early to come on the show. So we will be starting at 4:00 on that one, no matter what. So yeah, so that's the big announcement.
Yeah.
So everybody, make sure to go check out Josh Putton's YouTube channel. In fact, I will go ahead and put it up so everybody can see it.
Yeah, handle that, Jason. Put it in the comments. Do all that. What's the report on Warner and Greenlaw injury? Well, I think the worst is going to happen with Fred is a thigh bruise. It was clear he got a helmet or shoulder pad to the thigh.
Yeah,
okay.
Going to break. Did you hear the way he screamed?
No, I didn't hear the way he screamed.
I heard the scream on TV.
At the end of the day, I have to ask this. Was it me or because we all saw Kittle basically got a shoulder yesterday.
That medicine ball? We ain't seen that since the days of Jimmy G.
Jimmy G. I swear to God, I read his lips and they said something like, "Oh fuck my dick" or something.
Yeah,
like
he
that.
got that.
Okay, he got. I thought he said something my dick
or anything like that. That was the man's nuts.
Okay, I thought he said something my dick. Anyway, I was like,
that was a nuts.
But it was.
I was going to Rick Diaz thing.
Shoulder pad, whatever it was, hit him into the nuts.
Yeah, that wasn't like a rib or his stomach. No, that was a straight. The man felt that one.
Yeah,
poor Claire.
If Kittle doesn't wear a cup, he will now. I promise you.
No kidding.
That's one time. It only takes one fucking time. You proposed to Tony on Halloween. That's what's up. So yeah, so I got something planned, but so you're gonna be celebrating the day you can't come on the show? Like
no, because we're
doing
stuff that night. We'll be trick-or-treating and other stuff.
I was talking to Brian.
Oh, okay, my bad. I was talking to me stuff.
Yeah. A scene from the Yonkers yard straight up. So Bryant Burns. I don't think it's going to be a big splash. It'll be somebody I think the best we could hope is somebody of the ilk of Emmanuel Sanders-ish, not specifically saying a receiver. If we trade for a receiver,
yeah, use your words.
Then I'm concerned about Debo.
Yeah.
Because then I don't think he's going to be after the bye week. I think he's going to be reevaluated after the bye week. And I'm thinking a week, 2 weeks after the bye week type of situation.
Yeah.
But if we trade for a receiver, we're probably talking about December. I would think like it's for us to trade for a receiver. Because who else spy is he going to take? What, they're done with Juwan, who
you would have to trade someone like Juwan.
Didn't have the greatest game yesterday.
Yeah, he's all right.
And you know what? Honestly, my initial until Kyle spoke, so I'm defaulting to Kyle on this. Honestly, I thought Ray gave up. I thought Juwan gave up on the route.
Nah, he got knocked. I can't knock him for that. He was knocked off route. It almost looked like he had an option of whether to go out or in, and it's like he started to go out and hesitated, and then we went back in. It was already too late because
clearly him and Brock were on the same page. I believe that Kyle put it on Brock and said, "Hey, that was a bad throw," but ultimately,
I don't want Devontae on this team. Yeah,
I'm good.
Keep Devontae. Talent-wise, great, but I don't think his attitude works with this team.
And I don't want to trade. First of all, the Raiders aren't going to trade him to us. Second of all, I don't want that type of trade.
I don't want to give up what it's going to take to get Devontae Adams.
I don't want I think everybody's in panic mode because this narrative of the window's closing, and everybody's panicked because, the window's closing and everything like that. And I think the window closes if you start doing things like that.
Yeah, because you start mortgaging your future.
You start mortgaging the future. How the window stays open is the Niners have a very simple formula. You re-sign your key players, your Debo, Bam Bam, George Kittle. They said about once a year you would like to sign one of your own. You draft, develop, and re-sign somebody. Maybe keep a few, sign some free agent, stuff like that. You let Aziz, who, hey, he's not a core player, so we're not going to pay him. You let him walk, get the comp picks, and then you draft, and eventually those draft picks will be turned into comp picks. You either are going to become core players that you re-sign, or they're going to turn into comp picks that you draft, that you use to draft and get players on the cheap. So that to me is a very sustainable model to win, where you start to fuck around and start closing windows is when you don't have that first round pick to replenish, Mike McGlinchey, replenish. I can't think of somebody, Aziz or whatever. So do you ultimately, do you think we make some trades?
I do.
I think we make some Jordan Willis.
It sucks that the trade deadline is also my winning average.
Yeah, it kind of really does suck.
So
I'm hoping
won't be doing anything like
we'll be live.
Yeah,
we'll be live after too. So anything.
So it does kind of suck that I won't be able to do anything with that, but so it is. But I'm off the next day. Maybe I can sneak away.
There you go. But yeah, so we'll be live before after it's already done it came. So that's pretty cool. Anything that would happen would have happened. But yeah, I see a very Brandon Willis or Jordan Willis. Maybe at most the top end type of deal I see is happening is a very Emmanuel Sanders type of elk veteran comes in and like a Von Miller-ish, not specifically Von Miller, but
someone like Brian
like that coming
from Burns from the Panthers would fit that bill.
Yeah, but how much are they gonna want for him?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want Trent Brown back. Move McKinnon's to right guard.
I'm not against that idea. I don't think
they're not going to do it because if they were interested in keeping Trent Browns, they wouldn't have traded him.
Yeah. But
so
here's my thing. Bringing it back to Moody real quick. Say he doesn't even have necessarily a bad game, just has a shaky game. He makes a 50-yarder, misses another easy 20-yarder, or an extra point or something like that. Do we have a kicker competition during the bye week?
We have to.
There you go.
We can't. Okay. Let me rephrase this, and I want to phrase this correctly. We cannot, if we want to be, as everybody stated, all the players, coaches, everybody has said, the Super Bowl bringing 6 is the goal this year, correct? You cannot let anything stand in your way. So you can't let the fact that this kicker was a 3rd-round pick, you just drafted him, whatever you think he could, you have to immediately do what is best for this season while keeping an eye for the future. So do I want to trade for Justin Tucker, for example? No, I'm not interested in all that. But if that brings in, you bring in Robbie and you say, Rook, you got to breed out Robbie, then that's what you got to do. I don't see them getting Robbie because
he's not
they
playing anywhere
clearly
else right now.
like, but the thing, two things. Why did Nick Bosa only get signed? Clearly, after they were cool and comfortable with him. Why did that go on as long? Because they wanted to win the deal. Nick Bosa wouldn't even not reported. Because I feel it was more the Niners giving in the Nick Bosa budget.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially since you see what it is, and it's pretty much what everybody was saying. Give him this. It's gonna be about this. It pretty much the Niners caved. The Niners said, fuck it, Nick. Here you go. They have no power. Robbie holds all.
Yeah.
I
we
bet
offer
you
him
he
like
would say what he's cool with. He's probably about 7, 8. Because he's gonna say, hey, I'm cool. I'm ultimately doing why I wanted to go back to Chicago. Right? He's chilling with his family right now. That's why he wanted to go back to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So, pick. I think Robbie Gold's cool with his career ending.
It's not a bad career.
Oh, no. Hall of Fame career?
Don't think it's that, but
it's going to take a while for him to get in.
He would be a veteran's choice.
I think it would definitely have to. There would have to be some clearing. Look, I will fucking protest the Hall of Fame forever if fucking Robbie Gold gets in before Roger Craig.
And the way things are going, it wouldn't surprise me, man. Because at this point,
I will never, off of pure that Robbie Gold and a kicker gets in before fucking Roger Craig. Anyway,
I'm sorry,
but with no championships.
Any kicker gets in before Robbie, I might just burn the damn place down.
I mean, look. If a kicker gets in, it's Robbie. Okay. Besides Justin Tucker, because Vinatieri's already in.
Jason
in our
Elam,
lifetimes.
maybe? Jason Elam hit some big kicks for the Broncos back in the day. I mean,
yeah.
So I mean,
but
Scott Johnson in the Hall of Fame.
Who?
Scott Johnson kicked for the Saints years ago.
But so Robbie holds all the cards. They're not gonna like that.
No.
So let me ask you this: if we don't, okay, Moody comes out, and we have, or ultimately, I think what might be worse for evaluating Moody is he doesn't really come out and kick. Next game we're just scoring touchdowns. Until he's kicking.
Besides, if we just get kicking field goals over and over and over kind of thing.
He just it's just a game that he's not needed.
Yeah. But I'm okay with that. Say he goes out and we score 5 touchdowns, and all he's doing is just hitting.
That's what
he needs something like that to build his confidence to kick some of these other ones. So I mean, if we have a game where he's just kicking 5, 6 field goals, or extra points, I'm okay with that.
Do you think that 55-yarder was him saying, "I believe in you"?
Yeah.
If he misses that kick, I think,
Man, if he misses that, if I'm not even on the plane. I'm taking my own way home. That'd be a rough ride home.
And I mean, and you could make the excuse of a 55-yarder, but
not when you're supposed to have one of the strongest legs. You know what I mean? Not when your forte is hitting
because
those
because if you look at why did you draft him? Ice water in his veins, right? I won't say that. I won't say that's a myth, but he's 0 for 1 in ice water in his veins kicker moments, right?
Yeah.
We can agree to that. Okay, so 0 for 1 in that category. Strong leg, right? Okay. He's hit those, bro. We got to give him that. He's hit those ones, and accurate. No, like you cannot call him, because even on kickoffs, he's been inaccurate.
Even he shanked a couple of those.
Yeah. So if he misses that kick, the benefits of drafting you and why we took you in the third round are no longer equitable, because you're showing that that's not relevant. Yep. Then ultimately, what are you? Just a cheap kicker. And Kyle's like, well, shit, we could get these shit.
Yeah, there's 20 of them lined down or lined up right now.
Did I have at least, but because kicker record. Each other inch only happens because Robbie Gould wasn't healthy. Because we beat them week 9, and we go 9-0. That last game in 2019 doesn't matter. So whatever it is it malpractice that if we don't try out kickers and Jake Moody comes out and we don't try out kickers, is it malpractice by Kyle and John Lynch if Jake Moody ends up costing us a playoff game?
Yeah.
Or something.
At the very least, you have to bring someone in and make him win a competition. Say the other guys suck or anything like that. But I want him to know that in his brain, hey, I have actually beat someone out for this position. And that will, bring in some confidence to him. So, I mean, if something happens this week, that's the minimum you have to bring. You have to bring someone in.
You got to, because I want this last night. I want Jake Moody to succeed. I don't want to say the Niners owe it to him, but the Niners clearly succeed. We
owe it to the draft position or the draft capital that we spent on him.
Yes, specifically.
Yeah.
Ultimately, Kyle's got the one thing that he gives zero shits if he has to move on from Jake Moody, and that's job security.
Yeah.
Because if you could make the trade for Trey Lance and trade him back for a 4th and get an extension, think about that, Jason. They literally got it
within like a week of itself.
I wonder if the extension was done before the trade.
I've seen a lot of people have said that it was done in the offseason. It just didn't get announced. Like there was like a handshake deal or something like that.
I think Kyle said it was done before week 1. So it would have been slightly after the trade. You literally, people are calling it the worst draft trade in NFL history. All that. And you literally get an extension right after that. If that ain't fucking job security, I don't know what is. So should we bring in other players as well? D-Lo line needs a confidence builder.
Yeah, but we got to do something. That's a little different.
You know what? You brought it up right there. It's what? Oh God! I think the only one we won is the 2018, the 2021 one in against the Yams. It's the only time we've gone into the fourth quarter trailing and came back and won.
Yeah, his record when losing in the fourth quarter is absolutely horrendous.
It gets back to David McNiner's question. What is our identity? Run the football. What is it? What's the opposite of what you do trailing in the fourth quarter? You don't run the football. Now, that comes with asterisks because ultimately you've got to look at the quarterbacks. But I think at the very least, I'm not worried about Brock until I'm worried about Brock. Because like I said, what I think is going to happen is I think this is going to be, look, we end the quest for 6 this year. I think this is going to be our come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
It'll go down in Niner lore of the private conversation that Fred Warner had with, in Minnesota, and that will go down in Niner lore and all those things, right? Like, the players only meeting in '94, after we got our asses handed to us by the Eagles.
I wanted to leave this one up there because, as far as I know, I have yet to see Nicholas in here, but thank you for showing up, brother.
Thank you so much, bro.
And then also go with Bryant asking about other people on the team. I think one of the things with kickers is that it's such a mental position.
Yeah.
That you can get better for the most part. Between the offensive lines positions and defensive line positions by just going up against other offensive line positions. You play them in practice every day. How do you get better? You just keep going against each other, kind of thing like that. With kickers, if you're just kicking against nobody, how do you actually get better? There was some sort of a competition. How much of an actual competition there was in training camp between him and Zane Gonzalez, I don't know. So you need to get his head on straight. It's not necessarily that, he's not going to get better. His leg isn't necessarily going to get stronger or anything like that. But he needs that mental aspect, and he needs to know that he can beat somebody else, because if he can't, he's just kicking against himself at this point. Kickers are not just a foot and cleat. Yeah. Again, you have to treat kickers with such tenderness, I guess is the word. Could you imagine any kicker, like just some coach walking up to a kicker like, you fucking suck, and blah, blah, blah. Like every kicker in the world, even I think Robbie Gould would probably freeze up with that shit. So it's just kind of funny how they do that. Oh, I think we're both, yeah. I need to hang out with TJ before the game.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Hey, what's up,
Moody, hit up TJ before the game. He'll do the pregame with you.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Hey, I'll get your head right. I'll get. Please, Empire, I will not let us down. I will get Jake Moody's head right before every game, bro. I promise. Come see me, bro. Come holler at me, Jake. I got you. We turned it over and missed the field goals, fumble, couldn't stack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere. There wasn't a There was nowhere on that team where we actually, besides maybe Christian McCaffrey, that we had a good. But and then even the other running back who got in, the one play he got in, he got hit behind the line. So I mean, again, other than him, everybody did not have a good game. I mean, you can say not Debo, DA had a good game. Kittle, okay, but for the most part, every position failed. This is a team loss.
Yeah, I felt that it's like I said, because I felt that aloha, brother.
Talofa Sole.
I mean, we all do. Like, every Niner fan should want Jake Moody to succeed.
Yeah.
So we are playing 3 teams in a row coming off their bye weeks, 2 weeks to prepare for us. We have no surprises. Yeah. That is something that, is, I mean, like, what the fuck, NFL? Like that, like how does that happen? I actually have a video I'll watch one day that talks about the logistics of the NFL and how the schedule is made and all that.
Oh, it's insane. It's crazy how they put together the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking rough. But, like, that's crazy, bro. 3 weeks in a row coming off of teams with a bye week.
I mean, and that does definitely play something into all of this. Like, we're getting these teams at their best. So, I mean, again, the sky is not falling.
Shit. I would think any NFL coaching, not any, but any decent coaching, NFL coaching staff should probably be able to prepare for a team with 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I expect us to go out and smoke Jacksonville. Like, they're a good team. I see it being like a, 45-20 game, where it's like they got their points, Trevor Lawrence is legit, but like, anyway. And that's the thing that's concerning. Are the Niners out of the playoff race? Will we not win the division? All that shit, man, get up out of here. But when you look back at the end of the year, this might be one that a lot of people point to that Bears game. I point to the Bears game just more because it was an NFC appointment. NFC opponent. But really, honestly, I look at the Denver game. That was the one I look at as and say like you got to win that.
We did blitz and we got caught on it.
I mean, that screen was on a blitz, but we've been blitzing. We've been blitzing less.
The whole defensive scheme right now is so plain. There's nothing. There's no sort of like activity to it. It's like, okay, I'm going to stand in this hole, and I'm going to make one of two options. Either I'm going to come forward and blitz, or I'm going to drop back. There's no overs, twisting, anything right now. It's just such a basic defense.
The main problems we're having right now and why it's so basic is because he's looking at it and be like, dude, I got the NFC Pro Bowl here. You know, I like you. That's basically how he's looking at it. Final thoughts, Jason. Bobby's gonna get here soon, and we're gonna have to
rough week, man. It's been a rough 2 weeks. It's not going to get any easier considering that we got the Bengals. The Bengals are starting to get a little bit hot right now. You know, finding that mojo that we've seen the Bengals have for the last 2 seasons. So, we definitely need to see something happen with this game. You know, obviously you want to win, but at the very least, we've got to be competitive in this game. You know, I mean, we need something to hold our hats on after just getting our butts kicked the last 2 weeks. You know, obviously prefer a win, but we can't go out there and just look lost like we've looked for the last 2 games. We need to get back. Nope, go ahead.
Go ahead, bro. My bad.
It needs to get back, you know, and even though I just complained about the defense being basic as fuck right now, it needs to come back to basic. I don't know how you teach these guys how to tackle because I'm tired of all this hitting with no tackling, but they need to start tackling again. That's when a lot of this issue goes away if they just wrap up. Like I said, I beat on that last night with during the halftime show, but yeah, like I said, it needs to get back to basics. They need to come to Jesus, and they need to hold church again because obviously it did not work. And yeah, that's all I got for now, man. Like I said, shit happens part 2. Time to move on to get ready for Cincinnati at home.
Let's do it. All right, bro. I'll see you Friday.
Yep, see you Friday, and definitely, like I said, I'll see you 2 Tuesdays from now.
Yeah. We appreciate Justin. Come on, Gate, for another show. Safe blessing. Thank you so much, Teresa. Blessings to you. All right, y'all. I'm going to get up out of here, but before I do, of course, help out Niner Faithful Radio by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link. Link is in the description of this video and podcast. Go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Catch Jason and I going live Friday, 6 p.m. here on the West Coast. Go to SeatGiant, or to see everywhere you can subscribe to the show. Go ahead and go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Catch us doing our halftime, postgame, and pregame shows. And this week's coupon code for 20% off of For the Faithful by the Faithful Season 3 apparel will be Beat Cincy. No, it'll be Beat the Bengals. All right, y'all. I shall see y'all Friday. Till then, faith. Oh, I have to say it this week. Till next week, the San Francisco 49ers don't always lose a game, but when we do, we're still the best team in NFL history. Stay faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners. All right. All right. We got all the comments. Yee.